Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today's video is all about me reacting to Luton Town's retain list, which we announced yesterday. But before I give you guys my overall thoughts on this, make sure you drop a like on the video. You guys dropping likes on my videos makes the video do a lot better. It performs better on YouTube. Also commenting as well. If you guys could go even further and share the video to your friends and family, that would be amazing as well. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section of the video. Are you happy with the retain list? Is there anything that surprised you? Let me know your overall thoughts down below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you are following me across all my social media platforms. So let's get on with the video. So it got announced yesterday, Luton Town's retain list, and it isn't a big one. And my first initial thoughts were, wow, only one player getting released. Because I look at our squad, we've got a few players there which I just don't see a future with at the club. I really don't. Although they've done well at the club, so the likes of Danny Hilton, Jerome, and Potts, I just don't see a future with them. Now, I was very surprised to actually see Dan Potts actually is still under contract. That was my first surprise. I thought he was one of the first names that were out of contract, but he isn't. He looks like he's still got a year left. I'm very surprised that with Naismith, that we've allowed him to just go on a free potentially. After the season he's had, I'm surprised that, negotiations weren't put in place for him to extend his deal. But I can't fault the board. I can't fault Nathan. We've always progressed under the board and Nathan, so it's kind of hard to, you don't want to slag them off because they've done a fantastic job, but sometimes you do have a few question marks on certain things. But if we just actually talk about the players that have an option in their contract that are getting extended. So Luke Berry has got, he's got an option in his contract that's getting extended. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that Luke Berry is staying, because Luke Berry, for me, on his day, I think he's a class championship player. I think injuries have massively affected him this season. Take the injuries out, I do think he can cause teams plenty of problems at this level. He provides us with that creativity in the midfield. It's just the injuries. Hopefully these injuries can just stop and he can be fully fit throughout the whole season of next year. The next player is Harry Isted. I'm very shocked with Harry Isted that we actually are keeping him. I feel for him. I feel like he's 25, probably turning 26 next season. He needs first team football. He hasn't had first team football. He isn't going to get first team football at Luton. I don't see him getting it. I really don't. I expect us to actually sign 2 goalkeepers in the summer. We need a #1 goalkeeper. We can't have what we had last season happen again in this upcoming season where we've had to play 6 goalkeepers. Yes, it's been unlucky, but we need a permanent goalkeeper. I don't see Harry Isted being that guy. I really don't. I always going to see him as being the third choice keeper. So the fact that we have extended his contract means probably we are going to bring in a goalkeeper. We definitely are going to bring in a goalkeeper, and Harry's going to continue being second and third choice throughout the season. But there's a good goalkeeper there. I just think he needs to go out and play first team football, in my honest opinion. The next player that's also had a option extended in his deal is Cameron Jerome. Jerome, he's had a great year. Whether or not he's going to repeat last season, I'm not too sure. He's also he doesn't really have a future here at Luton. After next season, that's it with him. He's going to probably look to retire, or he's going to look to drop down the leagues. I'm shocked, to be fair. I think we could, on a personal level, bring someone younger in who could also do the same job, who can also probably get more minutes out of, because it's alright having that experience within the side, but we know Jerome can't do back-to-back 90 minutes. That's the issue. So I'm a little bit concerned that we have gave him that extension. Yes, he has done well. He's scored a few goals. He's also provided a few assists, and he's probably helping the likes of Adebayo up top. That's fine, but I'm looking at beyond next season, the future of Luton, and I just don't see him being the future. Maybe it's just going to be a short-term fix, and he's just going to provide, that little bit of help for next season. I'm not too sure. And then finally, the last player that got an option extended in his contract was Peter Kioso. I would like to keep Peter Kioso. I know he's been wanted by, probably MK Dons want him, and probably a lot of other clubs want him as well, because he's always done well at every loan spell he's been on. Northampton, Bolton, MK Dons as well. You know, he's always done well. So there's going to be teams after him, especially in League One. In the Championship, he's played a lot more football. You know, since we've recalled him back in January last year, well, this year in fact, I mean, he's played quite a lot. You know, he has had minutes. It's the most we've ever seen from Peter Kioso. I do think I personally definitely know he isn't the finished article. There's still plenty of things that he needs to improve on, especially in the defensive part of his game, especially going forward as well. So he can either stay at Luton and try and improve and try and compete with James Bree for a spot at right back. I think what really helps with Kioso is he can play as a centre half as well, which then goes in his favour, and he can also play as a left wing back if needed. So he's going to get football, you know, especially if we have an injury crisis like we did last year. He would 100% get football. It's just whether or not he wants to play more than that, and deep down in my heart, I think he does. I really think he wants to play more football. And so for that reason, I think the reason why we have extended his contract is so we can actually get some money from him. Now, obviously, we were linked with Scott Twine last season, before he went to MK Dons. He's going to have so many links this season. I don't know if there's going to be a potential swap deal in place with a bit of money added on. I'm not too sure. Or we could be after another MK Dons player, and so that could be a swap deal put in place there. Who knows what could potentially happen, but I think us extending Kioso's deal could lead to us getting some money for him, because we did pay actually some money for him when he initially signed from Hartlepool. So those are the players that have had an option extended in their contracts. Let's talk about the 4 players that are currently negotiating new deals. That is Danny Hilton. Like the same with Jerome, really. I just don't really see a future. I think Danny, he's worked his socks off, and you know, I've been really impressed with Danny this season, last season. In fact, I think against certain teams he's bullied them. He gets in people's heads. But it's like Jerome, really. Can he do back-to-back 90 minutes? His age as well, just the level, the physical, like just the sharpness for this level. Is he going to be there compared to the likes of Adebayo? I just think personally, the same with Jerome. You know, I think we could just get someone younger in who could probably do the job and probably get more minutes out of and get more goals and more assists. I definitely think there's someone out there who could do the job. I also think we need a striker anyway. So this does worry me a little bit that we are keeping those 2 players here. But for me, we do need a striker. We definitely need a striker in. Someone between the age of 25 to 30 with a bit of experience, if possible, to bring in. We need that to happen. We need to improve in every department if we want to repeat last season. I know Nathan definitely wants to repeat last season. There's no way he would want to go backwards. Definitely the club does not want to go backwards. So if the club doesn't want to go backwards, we need to recruit, well, improve in every department, and that's, you know, finding someone up top. So yeah, I'm a little bit 50-50 with Danny Hilton and Jerome. I would have been alright if one of them stayed, but the fact that both of them look like they are possibly going to stay, it's a bit confusing on what the potential things that we are going to do for next year. But then again, like Danny Hill was only negotiating. You know, it doesn't mean he's actually signed a new contract. He may actually go to League One and play first team football. He may go to another side and play first team football. He probably wants to play more minutes. If he's happy to accept that he's going to be a backup choice, then, you know, it could be an alright move for Hilton. But right now, I'm a little bit 50-50 on Hilton and also Jerome. The next player who's also in negotiations is Cal Naismith. I'm absolutely shocked that we haven't already renewed his contract. He's had a fantastic season. He's been our player of the year. I don't see him getting a better offer from other clubs, if I'm being honest with you. I actually don't think any key players will leave Luton, but that's for another video. Yeah, but as I was saying, Cal Naismith, he's had a fantastic season. Yes, I'm delighted that we are going to look, well, we're offering him a new deal, but will he accept it? I think he will. He's playing his best ever football in his whole career at Luton, and I think he'd be a bit silly to say no to us and join another club. He may move back up north though. That's the only thing that's not going in our favour. He could go back closer to home, which is obviously up in Scotland, but that's, you know, it's down to him. He's at that age now where he may want to go back home. I'm not too sure, but Robert Snodgrass is also the next player which we are also going to talk about. I've done a quite quick, swift transition there from Naismith, but yeah, Robert Snodgrass, I would like to keep him. I think he's done well on the short-term deal. I think only give him a 1-year deal. He's that player that's going to, you know, provide quality in the midfield, experience in the midfield. His set pieces are just vital on their own, and I wouldn't mind having Snodgrass. I think he's shown a great attitude. He's a good player in my opinion, and if we could get him on a year, that would be great. But the problem with Snodgrass is, could he get more money going elsewhere? Because he is a high profile player, you know, he is well known in the Championship. He's made a name for himself playing in the Prem as well, so he could get a better move, if I'm being honest with you. The only thing that's going against us is the money situation, but I think he enjoyed it being at Luton. I think he enjoys being around the squad. He's best pals with Naismith as well. And yeah, I would be absolutely delighted if we could potentially extend his contract at the club. So those are the players that are in, you know, in conversation on trying to renew their contracts. Matt Ingram, he's obviously gone back to Hull following his emergency loan deal. Dion Pereira and Glenn Ray have also returned back from their loan deals. Dion played at Bradford, which he had a fantastic spell at. And then Glenn Ray also, he didn't really feature too much for Wigan. He also come back with an injury. It looks like that's a long-term one as well, which doesn't help him because he's had a few long-term injuries himself. So hopefully he can come back fully fit, ready for next season. But the one player which we are releasing, and that is Elliott Lee. Elliott Lee done well. He played a vital part in, obviously, in us getting promotion from League 2 and also from promotion from League 1. I thought for 18 months while Nathan Jones was at the club, Elliott Lee was a really good player. I thought he was consistent. For the first, normally he done really well for the first 6 months of each season. So for the first 6 months of League 2 he was good, and for the first 6 months of League 1 he was really good. But for the whole season he just couldn't get that consistency. And then when we won promotion to, obviously, to the Championship, Graham Jones didn't really rate him. And then once Nathan Jones came in towards the end of that season, he then played quite a lot. He actually scored that important goal against Huddersfield, which, you know, in the end helped us stay up in the Championship. And then the year after that, he just couldn't be consistent. He played quite a lot, especially in the first half. And then we decided that, you know, we're going to have to put him out on loan to Oxford because he just wasn't consistent enough. And then the same again happened last season where he just wasn't consistent enough. You know, he hasn't really took the step up to the Championship, and you know, I think this is the right decision. I just don't think he's cut out for the Championship. He's had plenty of opportunities to prove himself. I just don't think he can do it on a consistent level. On a one-off game, he can do it, but on a consistent level, I just don't see him doing it, unfortunately. So I do think he will go to a League 1 club. I don't know if Oxford would be after him, or maybe Charlton again. But yeah, I definitely see him signing for a League 1 side. I think League 1's his level, not the Championship, unfortunately. But obviously he's had a fantastic, time at Luton, I'd say. You know, 2 promotions, he stayed up in the Championship. So, you know, it hasn't been a bad, you know, experience being at the club. But yeah, I think, you know, this was the correct decision by Nathan Jones and the board to release Elliott Lee. It's, you know, at times it's time to go, and yeah, for Lee, I think it is time to go. And yeah, apart from Elliott Lee being released, no other senior professional got released. We had a few youngsters get released who wasn't quite ready for the level. That's another worrying thing, that we're not having many youngsters breaking into the side, but I can talk about that in another video. But overall, guys, that is the end of the video. I'm a little bit, you know, mixed on the retain list. Obviously, I have full backing with Nathan and the board on whatever decisions they actually make at the club. But yeah, hopefully going forward, we do bring in some good players in. I'll talk about that in another video as well. But yeah, it's a little bit, I'm a little bit mixed on the retain list, if I'm being honest with you guys. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section of the video. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to follow me across all my social medias if you haven't done already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.